Good morning, Ashish. Welcome, parents. It's Sunday morning and it's already 10:01. So I understand, Ashish. You take your time, my friend. Thanks for joining in. I slept at 3:30 a.m. because I was working on the content, and I understand I've been there just like you. All right. Right now it's 10:01 Sunday morning. I'm here for our effective parenting session. Let's get started. And if you're late, not on time, you just missed everything. That's how life will treat you. All right. So, getting started to answer the questions, I'll start with Shipra, this is for you. And you had like, you're still reflecting on skills, what can empower kids with. And let me go back to your previous question, if you may have. So, what you're asking is, could you narrow down the skills exactly what we can empower kids with? I feel time management, accepting failures, ours and theirs, value for money, not giving too much gifts or some. And you're right about what you have shared, Shipra. The life skills, in my experience, for last 30 plus years is it starts with self-esteem for your child, whether it's your son or daughter, to know who they are. What's their self-image? What within their heart and soul they feel their self-worth is. So we'll start with self-esteem, self-accountability, assertiveness, positive mental attitude, developing a never give up attitude, learning how to say no, time management, goal setting, decision makings, communication skills, public speaking. These are the skills, life skills that are needed as a package for every child to become successful in addition to whatever academics they are doing. Hope that answers your question. If you have any more, put it out in the group. And morning, Sarika.
Good morning.
Any question you have, Sarika, before I go on to answer other questions or anything to share?
As of now, no,
Okay,
nothing coming in my mind. I'll follow everybody's questions answer.
gotcha. All right. And I'm going through the questions here. And another thing, like Shupra mentioned, the biggest thing is learning how to fail. It's not if your child is going to fail, it's when and how often. And redefining failure. What is failure? Everyone fails. The one who redefines failure is able to get back up sooner and move forward. The one who has received the norm, the world definition of failure, sits there whenever failed for the longest time, which builds regrets, which builds loss of opportunities, because the world is not going to wait for us. So, in addition to all the life skills I mentioned, yet another important life skill is learning how to fail, accepting it, learning from it, and moving forward. And Ashish, thank you for sharing your takeaways. I appreciate that. And yesterday, I've shared a conversation with one of my students who I thought would be representing your future child. How many of you got a chance to see it? Yeah, I know it was very late, probably like 11:30 I posted that. And Deepika happened to be one of my clients for last few years, and her weekly sessions are on Saturday. Towards the end, I just requested her, I invited her if she would be willing to talk to help each one of you. What if your future child could speak? And my understanding was it would be a 5-10 minute talk. I'll ask her some questions and all. And Deepika proved me wrong. The conversation went on for a couple of hours. Yes. What you see on YouTube is, I think I've put an hour and 15 minutes or something like that. So when I started I asked her first question. I thought, 30, 40 seconds, a minute, a question. The first question she answered was for 10 minutes. So I did tell Deepika, you know what, I'll ask you and let's make it relevant to that specific question. And after we ended, she continued to talk 10 more minutes. So the only part I edited was the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes. Everything else you see is authentic, raw conversation. And the reason I say she proved me wrong, because many times parents or we feel this young generation doesn't want to talk. And I'm sure each one of you are experiencing when you converse with your child, it's yes or no or whatever. And here, this child, and I call her child because she has been on this journey and she's just little ahead of where your child's might be, but she has gone through that. And this young girl had so much to share and so much to talk. I just couldn't hold myself. I couldn't stop her because it was so important that she was talking to each one of you. What if your child could speak right now? What are they thinking? What are they needing? And if they, because Deepika didn't get what she wanted, what she needed from her family or her parents, not because her family didn't love her, because her family didn't know. And it felt as if what would be anything better than this gift to each parent attending here? Imagine if 10 years from now, whatever age your child is, elementary, middle, high school, 10 years from now, your child comes back and is speaking as if Deepika was speaking to you. That's your takeaway. One more thing I want to share here is about in the last session's chat, which I saw later, it was suggested we call this group as effective parenting group. And I talk about my standards, what I have designed is effective parenting, magnetic parenting, and magical parenting. And it was suggested, why not we name it magical? So just would like to speak a minute on that. I mean, think about it. It's like a school system, elementary, middle, and high school. Being an effective parent is like entering your elementary school. Effective parenting for me is doing my best when my child is at home. It's a very short period. When I'm more aware, I'm able to do only until my child is at home, which probably is around 18 years of age. So that's effective parenting. That's the role. And once your child is out of your home, going to college after 18 years of age, if you have done the effective parenting right, you graduate to magnetic parenting. What is magnetic parenting? You become that magnetic parent where your child feels the pull towards you, wants to stay in touch with you, wants to connect with you, wants to share their life with you. And that goes on until we are here. That's my definition, until I'm here on this journey, on this human journey on earth. And magical parenting is once I'm gone from this world, will my child hold me in their heart? Now I am with them. I hope, and I'm working towards that I'll be within them because that's exactly how I carry my parents. Like I said, when I lost my dad, I told one thing back myself in 1993. My dad was with me, now he's within me. So magical parenting is something not we can create here. So let's be the best effective parent and get on to becoming magnetic parent, because each parent wants to know what's happening in their child. Until they are in elementary school, you will experience they want to come and tell everything. You are so busy, but they want to, you know what, mom, this happened and she did this and he did that and whatnot. And you get like, okay, okay, okay. And when your child goes to middle school, you are used to listening, and the child is like going away. Why? Because they're developing themselves, they're growing on their own, and the gap starts increasing, and you start becoming desperate. And because you don't know how to communicate, you load on your expectations onto them, what to do, what not to do. And who wants to be criticized? Do you? Who enjoys criticism here? Nobody. And unknowingly, we pass that on to our kids. And in high school, they don't even want to talk anything. And as a magnetic parent, I mean, each one of you, if you're not there, I guarantee you, you will be there a few years down the road where your child is out in college and you're wondering what's happening with my child. Did my child eat? Is my child safe? Is my child studying right way? What about his or her, influence of peers? How is my child handling? And if we really talk more specifically for our Asian parents, or even diving deep for Indian parents, we have a culture. Doesn't matter North India, South India, we all have a national culture how we raise our kids. And when our kids go out here, and it's not just restricted to US or UK or Europe, it has become global now. If not exactly to the same extent, things have changed in India drastically. So the world has become such a, close platform. So once your child is out, they're exposed to so many things. It's as if, our child is participating in a car race. It's not optional. They are going to be, because it's required. So have I trained my child with the driving practices, learning lessons? If yes, even if they don't come first, they'll be safe. They'll be able to drive in that race. If not, they might not even get started. And I look at parenting like a relay race. I've been a runner, an athletic person, sports person throughout my life. So I talk in terms of sports. What's a relay race? The first, let's say it's a 400-meter relay race. So there are four runners. Every runner runs 100 meters. And when they run with a baton. Everyone knows that? Remembers? Have you seen the running races? So they run with a wooden baton. And the first runner, and every runner has equal responsibility. It's not like the first runner has to run faster and second and third, can relax. No. The end result matters on everyone's participation, everyone giving their best. So the first runner runs, hands over the baton to the next person. The second one is getting warmed up, picks up and runs, and third and fourth. And that's how I look at parenting. I'm not the first one. I'm the second runner in this relay race. My dad was the first one. My mom was the first one. And when my dad and mom handed me the baton, I did my best just because I was more aware of it. I had learned these skills. I was educated on this so I could implement it. And I had passed that baton on to both of my kids now, who are on their journey now. So it's like a relay race, and we only get a certain time slot to do our job best. And unfortunately, the third runner cannot say, hey, oh, I need to go back to the second position so I can again, improve on my performance. Life, my friend, goes in one direction. It's a unidirectional journey. The only thing we can do best is in this moment. We can learn from our past experiences, whether good, bad, or ugly, or mistakes, whatever you call them, and we can only use it in the moment. Anything that I learned now, I cannot go back in my past. Neither I can get a result in future. But the result in future is dependent on what I'm doing in this moment. It's not a wishful thinking. It's not, yeah, when time comes, I'll do. The fruits will only come when you sow the seed, when you water that seed, when you nurture that seed and let it grow. And it will grow up into a plant, it will become a tree, and then someday, one day, it will give you the fruits that you wanted, that you needed then. Exactly how parenting works, or every relationship. But I guess the most important role in our life, I believe, is that of a parent. Because it's not just for you. Are we not happy as parents? Don't we get joy? There's so much of joy you would never get from anywhere else. The joy that you feel of raising a child when they do something good or they come and hug you. You can't explain that. It's a feeling. And that feeling has to be lived through and experienced. And your child, when they are young, they are very easily influenced by you. So you are in the best position to influence them. And then it's on you. How do you keep on upgrading yourself to maintain that influence, to maintain that bond with your child? Because you're learning too. Who here came with a training of parenting before even becoming parent? Nobody. It's like we never trained for anything. And guess what? As if you never learned driving and you're on a freeway with a huge SUV. And then we are in denial. I am the best driver. I cannot be wrong because it hurts my ego. Because what I learned from the society, because of my culture. Do we not find difference in cultures from the Indian culture versus, let's say, American culture or European culture? I'm always hungry and curious. Anytime I get to meet somebody, I want to interact and understand. So I was just last November, I was visiting Canada and my cousins, and these my cousins' kids grew up, of course, born and brought up in Canada. So I was asking my nephew, he was talking about how he would go and meet his friends, white friends, families. I'm like, what difference do you find as a child of an Indian parent as you were growing up between Indian culture and American culture? And he's like, Auntie, it's exactly how you raised your kids. I was surprised. He's like, because you gave the freedom for your kids to speak and express, and you allowed them to fail. But in most of the Indian cultures, there are expectations. There are tight expectations. The parents tell you do what you want, and then they give them one or two or three options. It's a funny story. I mean, my parents, my mom is Punjabi and my dad is Marathi. So I come from a mixed culture. They had love marriage in late 60s. So I come from such a wonderful background. So, in my family growing up, there was no restrictions like, oh, you cannot do this or that and all. So my mom would say, okay, you can go marry anyone. I'm like, okay. And she's like, but you shouldn't marry this and this and this. I'm like, come on, mom, what options are you leaving me with? So you gave all the freedom, but this because of that, this because of, okay, not this because they eat non-veg. So that's exactly without realizing we do that.
Option with term and conditions.
Yeah. So I feel good as a parent. Hey, I'm giving you option, okay? What? A or B. And the child's choice is not even A, neither B. They want C. And no, you can't even express. At least until my generation, people couldn't express. And I had the freedom where I could speak up anything to my parents and specifically to my dad. I mean, and to be honest, I feel I mean, the world knows what role a mom plays. Mom, I mean, we can have a different session on that, but I have experienced the greatest role a dad can play. And the sad part is most of the times dad have no idea how much power they have in their role. And it's gone unnoticed. Because in the outside world, how I operate is because of how my dad raised me and how he allowed me to fail, how he allowed me to express, even if I didn't agree with him. So it's not like just, instructing, talking the talk. And my dad was, quite strict parent. It's not like, we were never, scolded or, yeah, I have gone through in my generation. I've gotten my quota of, beatings or whatever. But I knew very well when I do wrong, I'll be punished. And punishment is important. Even I knew then, and I know now, and my kids know that. Because if I don't, if the child is not punished, and punishment, again, it's a big topic. What does punishment means? Am I punishing my child because I'm so angry? That's wrong. If I'm punishing my child because my social status is at risk, my child is misbehaving, and I'm not trying to correct my child, but I'm angry because, what will people say? That's wrong. So, in my programs, what I help people do, parents do, and kids do is learn and redefine whether it's failures, whether it is punishment. Punishment is supposed to correct, it's a recorrective behavior. And if the correction is done at the right time, you don't need to worry about success. Imagine you're driving and your tires are worn out. You're driving your vehicle with tires that are worn out. What is the possibility of the tire blowing up or having an accident versus if you replace the tire at the right time, change it so that you have safety for you, your family, and for the people driving on freeway. That's exactly how your role as a parent is. Are there any questions that I can help answer before I move forward? Sachin, Ruta, Ashish, Sarika, any questions? All right. So what I'll do is, and Sarika, you and so many of other parents have reached out to understand how can you help your child? How can you get more information about the programs and the trainings I offer for kids? So is it okay if I go ahead and share that? Perfect. So I'm going to share my screen here and I'll share what the program is and how you can take advantage of it. Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen? Sarika, just give me a thumbs up. Awesome. Bear with me while I adjust my. So I'm here to share details about Life Ready Empowered Fun Shop. It's preparing your students for real life. It's a 12-week live founder led fun shop. So, why this fun shop exists? Schools prepare your students for exams to get grades, and they're judged on that. But life requires confidence, communication, and clarity. Today, many students you see around, they struggle to speak up, doubt themselves, feel pressure to fit in, don't know how to say no. fear judgment of failure or failure. Grades alone don't prepare them for real life. Grades prepare them to get good grades and differentiate in their class if they come in the top tier, which helps them and enables them to get into a good college so they can come out with a good degree. But when they hit the real world, that degree's purpose is only to open a door of opportunity for their career. So the gap most children face is confidence, decision making, boundaries, and communications. These are the life skills. That's the gap they face because they haven't learned. And yet they are rarely taught directly, whether at school, at home, or in their sports or anything all together as a package. And children are expected to figure it out as they grow. Haven't you been that child where you experienced this gap growing up? And when you came to the real world, you were expected to figure it out? How was that journey? Was it a struggle or was it effortless? Was it fun or you hated that journey to figure it out? Are you still figuring it out just because the gap existed when you were growing up? Life Ready Empowered Fun Shop bridges that gap for your child. What is Life Ready Empowered Fun Shop? It's a 12-week live experiential fun shop. What is Fun Shop? Let me talk about Fun Shop. And this is my signature program. That's Fun Shop is not just a word or a program. It's actually the lifestyle we live in, I live in, and my kids and my family and my community. So any child coming into my community as a Fun Shop student becomes my child. So Fun Shop is not just a program. It's not a workshop for kids to come and work. Each one of us have attended fun workshops. I want your child to come in, have loads of fun, while learning these life skills without even realizing. So it becomes part of their life. That's the concept, that's the thought and mission of Fun Shop. So your child will learn confidence from within, how to express themselves, not just in anger or violently or by silence treatment, how to express themselves in a healthy way. It's equally important for them as well as others, whether it's a parent who is receiving the communication, or it's the teacher, or the boss later when they start working, or their peers, or somebody important coming into their life. How do they express themselves? How to handle pressure? What do you think, your child will ever face pressure? Peer pressure, family pressure, social pressure, success pressure, career pressure? They learn how to handle that, how to make decisions, because every day we are making multiple decisions. How to communicate without fear. How many of you have ever felt fear or afraid to communicate, whether it was to your parents, to your teacher, to your friends, to your loved ones? And if you're grown up now, to your spouse, to your extended family, to your boss, to your team lead at work, you wanted to communicate and you couldn't because you were afraid, and that held you back. This is not theory. This is real life practice, what your student experiences. So let's look at what Fun Shop is and what it is not. This is an interactive program. It's safe to fail. Let's fail fast. Let's fail early on so you can learn and not repeat that mistake. It's respectful platform where each student is respected as an individual, not as someone's child or someone's sibling or, based on any criteria. It's as a human being. It's practical based, it's not theory. It's what's actually happening in their life right now. And it helps, it's a life ready program. What it's not tutoring, it's not a therapy, it's not a motivational weekly motivational talks where, hey, you can do it. Yes. And then it goes down because they don't know how to do it. It's not lectures, it's interactive. It's like, I mean, uh, for those who are joining in late or who haven't seen, yesterday I had a conversation with one of my student or client or a child, if I can call her. If you see, I was just there, I was just nodding and barely I get to talk. So it's not a lecture, it's an interactive session, and you're seeing the result, what, how much a child has and want to talk, and what a child can learn. And it's not a pressure based learning. They do not have to perform to make me happy as their coach, make their parents happy as, oh, my parents invested something, so I have to make my parents happy. I want you to take a moment here, each parent listening to this. Are you aware? I'm sure you are, but are you aware and accepting that most of the time your child is trying to do something to make you happy? Not because the child wants to, because that's how we have programmed our kids. When you get good grades, I'm so happy. When you do this, I'm happy, I'm proud. So there's a condition if then loop goes on. Probably take a moment to reflect. What all things have you done to make your parents happy when your heart and soul wasn't in there? Or what probably you're even doing now because you're, for whatever reasons, you're not practicing the art of communication or expressing yourself. And you know more. What has it costed you? So now, in your role as a parent, what do you want for your child? So there's no pressure based. But what when the inspiration, when the hunger comes from within, the students are unstoppable because they develop the ability to choose what they want, who they are, who they want to become, and what it needs to take them from point A to point B. So they develop the skill to travel the journey on their terms. Are they going to be wrong? Oh, yeah. Was I not wrong? Did I not do any mistakes? How about you? Have you ever done any mistake? No? Really? Hey, I I sit here and tell you I've done all the mistakes. I've done it once. That was my rule. Because if I and I again redefining mistake, what is a mistake? What happens in real life? People do wrong actions. When they are caught, what's the standard sentence they say? It was a mistake. Oh my God. What thing is popping up in my mind right now? I hate to take big names. I don't like it. I just saw something that Bill Gates put in. It was a mistake going to Jeffrey Epstein's island or connecting with him or whatever. We all know what's going on there. I don't even want to go there. Mistake is a misused word. Mistake is something you do when you don't know what's going to happen. When you know very well, it's not a mistake. It's a decision, it's an action you're taking. So kids will do mistake. And with the right definition of mistake, they'll do once and they'll learn from it so they don't repeat that mistake. And that helps to build a strong leader, a better human being, a good, adult. In our fun shop, we have a platform where students learn together. And I want to talk more on that because if you look back, and I train students from third grade to 12th grade together. Why together? Your child, whether your child is going to a maths class or a sports or whatever, they are only operating at their age level. A fifth grader is mostly playing, interacting with a fifth grader, maximum fourth or sixth grader. That's not what happens in life. When your child graduates from college and comes into the real life, what's happening? A, a young adult has to interact, whether it's a 40-year-old or 50-year-old. And if they have never done what that does, the wrong or the impact it does is they're afraid to talk to somebody who is older than them in age. And the gender plays a big role, the authority plays a big role. And even now, if you see in real life, children don't just interact with people their own age, but this fun shop intentionally prepares students to express themselves confidently with older students, younger peers, adults, authority figures. And I'll tell you why. I used to have so much fun when I would do the fun shops in person. I would have a third grader girl bully a seventh grader boy in a role play exercise. Anybody heard the word bullying? Experienced bullying? And you and I both know bullying doesn't stop in elementary, middle, or high school. Bullying continues throughout life. Bullying is there in corporate America or corporate world. Bullying is everywhere. So, and why a bully is able to bully you? Because you allow. What if, just imagine, what if your child learns the ability to handle the bully, to face the bully and stand up strongly? Is there anybody in the world who can come and bully your child? That's an expectations. But before we expect our kids to become confident, we have to teach them how to handle a bully. So, and kids love it. What it does is younger students gain confidence by observing older students. And that's why I said it's a founder led program. It's not somebody else's teaching. I'm there like a hawk watching every second because for me, my participants are the most important kids in the program and I will watch it as my own kids. Older students develop leadership and empathy. If you have more than one child, you know what it is, how the sibling interaction happens. If your child, let's say, is a ninth grader in fun shop and you have a younger one, elementary one, your older one through fun shop is learning more about how to have a strong relationship, how to understand, how to tolerate the younger one. It not just helps them to become play have fun in fun shop, but it's building a good human being, so they develop empathy about their own siblings, about people outside there. And if the I mean, to share one example, I'll tell you, and I share examples from my life or my students life or my kids life. When your child knows how to interact with others, they'll be able to get more and progress better in life. No one is forced to speak here. Psychological safety comes first. Because I have learned through experience, every child has a potential. Someone will open up sooner, someone will open up later, but every child has a potential and they take their time to open up. So when parents come to me, hey, my child has achieved, it's not on me. It's not a machine which I can operate and, take your child there. Your child is getting empowered and choosing. And the more we give them the freedom to be themselves, they become stronger, they become unstoppable. I am talking with my personal experience, me as a person, as a teen, both of my kids, and thousands of my students who I have trained in the last 30 plus years, and their parents. Give them the freedom, have trust in them. They may not do anything. Imagine you sowing two kind of seeds, one of a regular plant and one of a bamboo tree. The regular plant will come up sooner and it will show flowers and flourish and all that. And the bamboo seed takes a long time under the ground. But when it's ready, it shoots up. It goes way beyond the other plant. It's not just for the plant to, for us to see the plants. It's that analogy we need to take in our life. Just because your child has not sprouted out of the ground doesn't mean the child is not, capable. Give them the freedom to become themselves. What students experience is it's a weekly live session, 12 weeks. It's a small supportive group. Imagine if you're handling one child, and if I have, how many more kids can you handle at a time while maintaining the balance of the team? So it's a small supportive group. It's real conversations, not something, oh, this book said that, or, somebody in his thought. No, it's what's happening with you. What are you really feeling? Fear? Okay. Acknowledge. It's okay to feel fearful. How is that serving you? What do you want to do? Not what you should do. I didn't tell them what you should do by talking or giving lectures. So that's what they experience. They experience real conversation, which helps them to open up. Practical exercises, not something, let's do it on paper. No, let's jump into the water. Long back, and this I'm talking back in India when I was conducting fun shops. 1994, 95. One of my student was daughter of the police commissioner of the city. So when she would come in, like, there was a security guard and whatnot, she would come in with her, all her, like, and as an exercise for communication skills to learn to talk and ask, one of the exercise I would give my students is take 1 rupee note. For those who are not from India, 1 rupee is like a $1. Take 1 rupee note and go to any store and ask to get a specific change. Can you give me 4 quarters or 10 paisas? So, and that was the exercise. And this kid, this girl who was police commissioner's daughter, she had never asked for anything. Her biggest struggle was how to go and ask, because there was never a need while growing up. And she struggled the most in that. And then she would go in her police commissioner vehicle to go ask for it, where people would come and offer. So I told her, no, you can't do that. You walk to the stores where no one knows who you are. Don't carry your label with you, because that's sabotaging you. And I can tell you how grateful the parents were, the police commissioner and his wife, for helping their child to learn how to talk. And I see some of you are raising hands. Give me a chance. Let me finish this. And I will. Sarika, otherwise, go ahead.
No, I just wanna say I wish my father would have found you that time. I would have been different person totally.
I cannot agree more with you, Sarika. So when I say that, and I didn't realize while growing up in my family what it was, I thought that's how every family is, every parent is. I only realized after stepping out of my home how blessed I was.
Yeah.
What the beautiful gift my parents gave me to feel and to be able to express. So, practical exercise is coming back to. So, I tell kids and inform parents, the reason I'm sharing this, because when your child comes into the fun shop community, you will see these things. I tell kids, okay, who wants to make money? Guess what? Everyone wants to make money. And why not? There's nothing wrong. Isn't that what we want when our kids grow up to make money? We don't want to make them to make focus on money right now. So think about it. You're not letting that child learn. Imagine if you didn't let your child walk at 1 year of age. Oh, I want my child to focus on, learning whatever things, but not walking, developing other things. And then at 10, you want your child to run. If your child never tried to stand up on their feet, never fell down, how will the muscles grow in their feet so they can carry their body? So let them fail. So your child might come back and say, hey, can I wash your car because I want to earn money? And yes, I expect you to support them. Yes. I'm not saying, and then you will say, oh, what if they misuse the money? You're so right. So what? Are you not going to give them a chance? What if we could empower them how to use that money? Wouldn't that be a better position to be in? So students experience practical exercises and they have fun because they are winning. They experience reflection and growth. And most of it is internal, not external, until a long time goes away. And you can see the external growth. They have replay access. We do role plays. And they get a certificate of completion of something they learned early on. Your child does not need to be confident to start. Confidence is not a requirement, it's the outcome. And some of you might feel, oh, my child is already confident. Great. That's better. So your child is warmed up. So your child can, step up faster. Imagine, again, coming back to an athlete, imagine you have a running coach. If a child has never run, they will learn how to do their steppings and learn running. But if your child is a good runner, guess what? His or her coach is going to help her or him in techniques, in the stepping, and it can only improve. In one of my other sessions, I was talking, if your goal is to climb Mount Everest, it starts from taking one step, starting to walk, one step every day consistently. So when you're walking, you increase your distance, then you start jogging, then you start running, and then you start climbing. Then there is a guarantee one day you will reach the top of Mount Everest. But just from point zero to Mount Everest is just a wishful thinking. In reality, you have to take steps. Students are never judged, never compared, never pressured. And it's not just three sentences. I want to take a moment to talk here because it's very important. Most of you might think, okay, the coach is not going to judge, the coach is not going to compare, the coach is not going to pressure. Great. That I'm doing as my role in a coach. And I expect the same from the families that work with me to do. I teach them, I train them. And there are two more layers of judgment of these three things. My student learns. So I don't judge them, but most importantly, they learn not to negatively judge their own self, not to allow others' judgment to impact them. Think about it for a second. How powerful is that? Not to compare myself with anybody else, not to allow others, including their parents, their teachers, their community, to compare them. How this child is doing good. We all have heard, Sharma ji ka beta kya karta hai aur tum kya karte ho? So my students learn. So they don't do themselves and they do not allow the world to impact them negatively. They don't put wrong pressure on them. If all my friends are trying out to smoke, I need to smoke because everybody is doing. Or if they are starting to take alcohol or they are watching wrong things on their phone, I feel pressured. Go talk to anybody. I mean, I have never engaged in smoking or drinking, so I can't talk for that from my personal experience, but I've talked to a lot of people, hundreds and thousands, who have smoked. The first time anyone smokes, not because they love smoking. The very first smoke happens only and only because of peer pressure. Because the people you're hanging around with are smoking. In India, most of the times it happens when a child goes after 12th grade to engineering or medical colleges. They are in hostel or even kids who stay with families. They are in an environment where the others are smoking and they feel pressured. I've seen in movies they cough when someone smokes for the first time. Not a good experience. Or when someone drinks alcohol, it's not tasty, it's not yummy. And they do it to prove something. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't that what, if you have ever done that? And that's what my students learn. So I'm not saying my students will never smoke or drink, okay? I'm not guaranteeing anything in life. Forget about your child. I'm not guaranteeing anything about my child because my child is not a product I own. I can only guarantee about myself. But if I've equipped my child if any of my student does anything, they are making a decision to do that, right or wrong thing, and they're aware. And that's all a role of a coach or to empower a child is. Not controlling what they will do, but teaching them early on what's right or wrong. So even if they take a wrong action, that information is there so they can help themselves to come back. Who has not fallen off track in life here? I have. How many times do we decide to go to gym and not go and not follow through? So it's not about being perfect. It's about being, having the ability to know how to navigate life. And when I know better, I do better. And that's exactly what my students go through. This is a safe space to grow. And that's the reason they open up. They allow themselves to become the best version of themselves. Why I do this work? I was once a shy, introverted child filled with self doubt. I'm an introvert person. You may not think that or you may not believe that, but I'm a loner. I love being with myself. But when it comes to helping someone, I don't know what persona goes in me. I just can't stop myself. But that's why I do. For over 32 years now, I have lived, applied, and taught life skills that transformed my own life completely. It helped me triple my salary in 3 years in corporate America after coming to this country. It empowered my own children to become confident adults. I don't teach theory. I teach life. I live life. I train my community how to live life to the best ability of their own. Sharing some of the experiences what whether it's students or parents who have experienced from our community.
Hi, my name is Rasika Kale. I'm in seventh grade and I'm 13 years old and I go to Cupertino Middle School. I attended this fun shop so I can speak in public more easily and get rid of my shyness. What I learned there is goal setting, accountability, and time management. My name is CD Venkatesh and I live in Sunnyvale, California. I have a son who is 10 years old and he's in fifth grade now. He's a very fun loving, hardworking, and a smart kid. However, he is a bit of shy when he has to talk to someone who he's not comfortable with and ask for some help. He learned about self esteem, time management, accountability, decision making, and a positive mental attitude. He loved this. These skills are very foundational, and I believe these are important for every one of us to face the challenges in this complex world and be successful. We see a lot of changes. He's getting comfortable with reaching out to people, introducing himself, and asking for help. And Coach Rashmi, she has mastered this skill and she knows how to introduce these complex concepts in a simple way that these kids can understand and internalize it. Hi, I'm Karen Shapiro. I'm a mom of a third and fifth grader at Eisenhower Elementary School. I'm the PTA president and I'm a Girl Scout troop leader. I loved seeing the results that my daughter got from attending the Confidence Fun Shop. She was more self-confident. I saw the self-esteem and that eye-to-eye contact. It was just amazing to see how my daughter changed. And I couldn't believe the great results that we got. And I'm going to have my daughter continue to take this each year because every year she will be changing differently and she'll get more out of it or different things out of it every single year. I'm currently going to be a sophomore at Fremont High School. As a direct result of Coach Rashmi's training, in Fremont High School, I had this PE class when I was a freshman. It was absolutely horrible. And I had a lot of bullies in that class and I didn't know how to deal with it. So one day, all the bullies were like picking on me because they just directly judged me that, oh, she's a nerd because of how I look. And they thought I wasn't a very sporty person at all. But I just stood up for myself saying, no, I'm actually good at this sport and this sport and this sport. But they still wouldn't believe me. But I honestly don't care because I'm better than them at that sport. And this all came from Coach Rashmi's training. Because of her training, I'm actually more confident about myself. than I actually was before. Coach Rashmi's training has created a big influence on me to be a more confident person than I was before.
Okay, I wasn't really sure what exactly it is all about. I knew what confidence was, but how do you teach that to a child? That day when I picked her up, she just came very excited. She said this was definitely the best camp that she has been to date. Just 1 week was the change in the way that Alicia's attitude was. And maybe I also need coaching as to how to react to a child that has, her voice was up. She spoke well. I'm very happy. I'm very happy with the progress she. We were very satisfied, and our kids learned a lot. We can certainly see the difference in their confidence level. I noticed a very big positive change in her attitude. I was just amazed.
This is what my takeaway is from serving parents like you and families like yours. So, coming back, like your investment in your child's growth for this 12-week life fun shop program is your full investment per student is $12.97. And I have been a student of all the world class marketers, whether it's Tony Robbins, Russell Brunson, Brendan Butcher, take any name, and I have been there, whether it's Zig Ziglar, anybody. But I'm a coach at my heart. So I don't, though I know I have learned how to stack things up, I'm not a marketer. I'm not a salesperson. I'm a coach. So that's your full investment. But as part of this community, which I call it as an appreciation enrollment, call this a parenting community, is $9.97 per student for this fun shop program. Enrollment is per student. Each child receives individual attention. This reinforces responsibility and commitment, gives them an opportunity to grow as themselves. And I have payment plans available. What this investment teaches your child is when you enroll your child, you as a parent are modeling that self-worth is important. And you want your child to have their own self-worth, commitment to grow and develop, to achieve success, growth over shortcuts. It's a journey. Responsibility for personal development. Each one of us is only responsible for our own growth. You cannot do anything, you cannot walk for your child. Your child has to walk for themselves. Your child has to fight their own fights. You can only empower them early on while you still have a chance. This is a life lesson in itself. That's exactly what I learned when my dad, back in 1992, invested in a program similar to this, when we didn't have the financial ability to support that. But I knew if my dad is finding a way to make that investment in me, I have to do my best. And that changed the trajectory of my life. Next steps. If this feels aligned, register your student. Enrollment is limited because it's a small group I keep. Secure your child spout now. And as most of you know, we as whether it's entrepreneurs or business owners, I'm actually working parallelly on building my funnels to get all this done, but I didn't want it to wait for it. And that was one of the reasons this was presented now instead of 2 weeks back, because payment is involved. So while I build up the funnels, you can go ahead and invest $100 deposit via PayPal to my PayPal account, coachrashmi@gmail.com, or PayPal me at RashmiMG. Make sure you are sending that $100 confirmation with your name, because email address I won't recognize. So give your name in the note, your child's name, and send it as a family or friends. Any questions anyone has?
Yes.
Go ahead, Sarika.
So So this is going to be one-on-one or the group coaching?
It's a group coaching,
Okay.
but it's a very small group. And the whole
Mhm.
purpose, it has its own wins when it's a small group, because your child will interact with different age groups, different gender, and they learn, and there'll be more role plays. And
Mhm. Okay. And then how long it gonna be like duration and
typically, anywhere between roughly or average 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And
Mhm.
any of my programs, and Sarika, you have experienced it. I, even when my coaching, like my sessions are 30 minutes, I do not sit with a clock. My only
Mhm.
intention is, am I serving right? So I say 40 minutes because my intention is I'm not looking at clock that my time is done. If it's done
And
at 35 minutes, I'm happy. If it takes 90 minutes, I'm happy, because so it depends on the kids and the program. If there is some discussion going on, I
Mhm.
don't stop because my clock is saying that time is done. So, but we have to also see how much child can be engaged. So typically I say for a group coaching, it's like around 45 minutes plus minus. Because I'll
Mhm.
have some sessions, some learnings to go there with the modules, and then the interaction, it depends how it goes.
Mhm. Okay. And of course, session would be in weekends, right?
Yeah, I will try to keep it on weekends. And what I'll typically do is, because I know all our kids are engaged in so many other activities, whether it's sports or academics or other things. So either it will be early morning or maybe evening. And mostly I'll start with the evening, because when kids are coming for the first time in my community, it takes time to warm up, so it's at their most convenient time. But I am not surprised. I've seen so much, like then they themselves come, let's shift it to 7 a.m. so I can get up early, and I can use my time wisely. But it's will be an over expectation to start with. It will be convenient time so that their sports games or matches are not impacted and they don't miss out. And in case if whatever reason they miss out, we'll have the
Mhm.
recordings and they can participate. And
Mhm. Perfect. Thank you.
most welcome. Any other question anyone has? Yes, Shweta, go. I hope I pronounce your name correctly. Go ahead, Shweta. And in case if all others were there, and if you guys can come on camera, that would be great. So I get to see. I know some of you. Shweta,
Hi.
I see. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I got dropped. So, what can be the minimum age for this program?
So I have it from third grade to
Okay.
12th.
So, minimum third grade because my daughter is in grade one right now.
Yeah.
So, I think she's small for this program because
I,
she
I
should
have
have.
I have personally trained first grader too.
Okay.
And like my kids have been in my coaching program. So my son at 5 years of age, when he was in kindergarten, he could stand up and talk about positive mental attitude and all that, just because he was part of my fun shop program. But I wouldn't, I mean, I would do that all with my kids. But yeah, so third grade would be a good one where
Mm-hmm.
they are, they know something more,
Hmm.
and
Okay.
they are experiencing things, whether it's
Right.
bullying or not able to
Again.
express. And when they are at that age, then they can connect the dots sooner.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks. Any other questions anyone has? You're muted, Sarika. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So I'm asking, but we're going to continue these sessions which we have
Yeah,
regular.
yeah, sure,
Yeah.
sure.
So I think she can continue in those sessions, right?
Which sessions?
The one we are doing now
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
every
Right.
week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
She
So,
can
Shweta, you are
continue.
more than welcome. We'll continue this community. This community is completely free for parents so that we become more aware. But,
Okay.
Mhm.
it's so here we discuss what challenges you are facing, what
Mm-hmm.
can be done. But everything cannot be taught. You understand, it's a
Right.
journey. So the reason I shared this, because I have been asked multiple times, and it's my responsibility as a coach to share what I can offer more. So these are the programs that can help you. That doesn't mean you can't help your child.
Agree, agree.
So, and I am just going to look at the chat. Ashish has sent something. Should we think of this as an advanced elementary school? How can you know kids benefit unless they meet you and other kids in person, just like in elementary school? Or is this run on Zoom? So, Ashish, I used to have in person fun shops back when I was in Bay Area, but now the world has gone on Zoom. And trust me, things work out easily. Each one of us right now, what we are facing. So kids are actually 10 times more adaptable than us. So I have no doubt in the effectiveness of the program. And kids, the first time they don't know me, but it connects. And once they feel they belong in the community, it's a no-brainer for them. It makes them easy to come and join because they are watching other kids, they are seeing others, struggle. So yeah, the first time will be a new introduction, but it's just like anything, how you took your daughter to kindergarten, elementary, or the first day. Let me know if there is any more question. But yes, it is only run on Zoom. And my vision is, this is the dream. So creating this platform was a dream and the vision my dad and I had to empower young people early on. The dream me and my son had was to have a program where I work with parents and when he was a teenager to work with kids, and then we switch. So to bring families together, maybe like a 1 day meet or 2 day meet where it can happen, but that's a vision and hope we all can have sometime. But that limits us to have, but your child doesn't have to be limited unless they meet in person. Any questions anyone else has regarding the program or any other questions regarding parenting challenges? Well, I think then we can wrap up our session here. Okay. How would you be able to help if they actually run away from camera on Zoom? As kids, they do not understand if they need to attend any session. And you're so right, Ashish. We can't force them. And the more we try to force them, they're going to repel. I feel it's my blessing, and the universe comes through me to connect with these kids. It's like that invisible, how we all learn in manifestation. You can't see it logically. How would they be able to? Because you're okay. Let me ask you this. Think about it. Do you have to force your child to go play on the screen or video games? Did you really take time to introduce, okay, beta, this is a game you have to play? They got attracted to it. Why? Because it was something of their interest. And I use different tools, whatever I need to. It's not talking, the talking is less, whether it's audio, it's a video. We even watch movies in our session. Why? Because that stays in their mind. And when that is of something of interest, kids come. And I'll share one experience. When I was doing fun shop in person, parents have shared this with me. Like, and I used to do a week-long summer camp. And the parents would drop the child and go to office. And many parents have shared their child is waking up early. Can you not be late, mom? Because I don't want to be late at fun shop. They would push their parents. They wanted to be early in fun shop, but not even miss a minute. And as long as public speaking, my experience is, and I had kids from first grade until 12th, day one, Monday, they were struggling and afraid to speak for 15 to 20 seconds. And on fifth day, I would invite parents to see the progress their child made. 5 days, I had to beg each student to stop after 7 or 10 minutes. And I'm not kidding. Imagine the fear of public speaking, the biggest fear in the world, gone in 4 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, they were unstoppable. So I'm not worried, Ashish, and the concern is genuine, but I trust my experience. So and I try to provide it for their interest. So they get attracted. Yes, Shweta. I love your name, Shweta. It's so unique and different. I
Thank
hope
you.
I'm pronouncing it
Yes,
correctly.
that's correct. That's correct. Thank you. So my question is in continuation of Ashish's question. Some kids are introvert and they
Yeah,
are afraid to even share their problem.
right.
Like my daughter is too introvert and then she doesn't want to speak to any stranger, like except their parents.
True.
So how do you help them to speak up, at least convey the problem? And they
Right.
are sometimes scared of being judged by
Yeah,
the other
100%.
person, so they don't like to or they just they don't tell the straightforward problem. They just keep on beating the bush around, so it's very hard to get the real problem.
Yeah. And another thing I'll tell you, Shweta, we feel my child is an introvert and my child only tells me the problem.
Hmm.
There are times she might not even be telling you.
Yeah, agree, that's the problem. I
Right.
say
And so we don't know what we don't know, what our child is
yes,
going through.
yes.
And why will she talk to me, right? So I start my fun show program. I tell them, listen, guys, I'm not your mother, not trying
Hmm.
to be one.
Okay.
Because at least in Indian culture, what happens if
Yes,
not my mom, this auntie is coming?
yes,
We our kids hate aunties. More
agree.
than uncles, they hate
Yes,
aunties because
yes.
aunties are the most irritating ones. They won't give up.
They will judge or they will tell our moms.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I tell the kids, listen, guys, I'm not your mom, not trying to be one. You already have one. I'm here to help you because guess what? I was in your shoes. I struggled. I share all my failures. I share how I messed up was when I was standing up in my eighth grade to do a public speaking
Mhm.
speech. How I forgot and how I was scared, how I lost, and how someone tried to bully me. And most of the times, no adult has talked to them like that about their failures.
Mhm.
I tell them, hey, I was a parent, I was much aware, but guess what? These are the mistakes I did with my kids. And I ask them, I apologize because I didn't know much then. Relatively, I was much aware, so I did less number of mistakes. That doesn't mean I never did any mistake. So, and again, that's where I feel it's a blessing that trust happens. And they come to me like a blank canvas. And I'm sure there are not unlimited mistakes we do as a child.
Agree.
So if a child has done something wrong, I'm very sure I'm able to find a similar experience in my own life. And with my experience, I'm able to see where they are and what they're able to. And before they can open up, I open up about the mistake I did or the experience I went through.
Okay.
And I leave it there
Mhm.
and they can connect to me. And
Okay.
they come and say, you know what you said? This happened to me.
Mm.
And for me, privacy is the topmost thing, whether I'm interacting with child or parent or any of my client. Because Shavita, if you're talking to me and sharing your, fear or something, I have to give you a safe platform to talk.
Correct.
Never ever it should happen that you hear that, oh, I shared my issue with Rashmi and Rashmi went and talked these things.
Right.
And then you'll never come back to me.
Agree.
And I'll
Mhm.
share a personal experience. My daughter, I think, was in ninth or 10th grade. Next building, her best friend was there. And one day, I get a call from Pooja's mom. I need to talk to you at 8 p.m. I need to bring Pooja. Like, okay. And Pooja has been a graduate of my fun shop program when she was in middle school. Both my kids were home. I said, hey, guys, you're going there because it's a person coming who needs personal help. So even though she might be your best friend, you're not. She needs her privacy. Something happened with that child in high school, and she was so scared. And she told her mom, I'm not going back to high school with that bad experience that happened. I'm not going, dead strong. And that mother didn't know what to do. And the child told the mother what happened. And they both shared with me on my dining table. And I coached her. I did an intervention with her. I walked her through. I didn't force her. I empowered her to make the right choice, to be able to see whatever happened in that high school that day happened by mistake. Accept that mistake as a teenager, to learn from it and not run away. Go face the situation bravely, courageously. And to this day, my daughter has no clue why Pooja and her mother had come and what had happened with Pooja. My kids know I respect privacy. There were one time probably she asked, Mom, what happened? Something happened. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yes.
So,
I got
things will happen with our kids.
Yes.
We all will face something like as if it feels, and that's where my heart breaks, Shweta, when, kids, they don't know whom to go to or what to
Yes.
do.
Yes.
And they feel they can't talk to anyone
Agree.
and they make wrong decisions.
Wrong choices. Right. Right.
And it's not worth it.
Agree.
And that's why I'm so passionate about this, because it changed my life. It's not that I haven't faced challenges. Each one of us face challenges.
Right.
The challenges I faced in my life, I never ever, when I was 20, if somebody would have told me, Rashmi, these are the things you'll face, no way possible. And life slammed me with that.
Mm.
And being alone, I thought this was the moment my dad prepared me how to handle it. And as an individual, I'm so proud of myself how I handled every situation. I could have reacted. I
Right.
could have, given back. But I was able to elevate myself. Though my father wasn't there with me, whom I could run to, Dad, what do I do? He had taught me early on.
Mm.
And that's why I love what I do, Shweta.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have question.
Go ahead, Sarika.
Not question. I have I already have the answer, but I still need to know from you. The amount you says is in USD, right?
Yeah, it's in USD.
One thing. And second thing, do you have any like a clip by chance? I have no doubt on your program for sure because I know. So, but still, do you have any clip with how those session will look like? A short clip from like any your previous session, something like that, so that to convince not me to someone else.
Yeah, I understand. And I have had parents when I would do fun shop in person, new parents would come. Hey, I would like to come and sit in your fun shop to see how you're doing and kids and all that. I'm like,
Yeah.
sorry, man, I love my kids. And you want me to expose my kids to you so you can come and judge?
Yeah.
Imagine if you were going to do something and there are five people coming and watching you. I respect my kids' privacy. And I'll tell you the agenda, how it goes. It's just
Okay.
like the Zoom sessions, or even when it was in person, whatever. Basically, the learning modules are decided. Like I said, I start with self-esteem. That's the building block. Because if they don't learn who they are, it's like, not teaching them how to walk and asking them to run a marathon. So self-esteem, then assertiveness, self accountability. So I teach them the modules, the theory in a slide presentation or through videos. So it's a mix of all the medias. Like we talk about VAK, right? Visual, audio, or kinesthetic, and what are the real life examples. So something that's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
So they can connect to it, not something that happened in 1989.
Mm-hmm.
So I teach them the theory, I make it interactive. I ask them what they are seeing here or learning here, what's happening in their life. And then
Mm-hmm.
there are some exercises they need to work on,
Hmm.
some self reflection, all the challenges they are facing, and to be able to build that platform where they are not judged, so they are able to open up. Just like
Hmm.
some exercises, like you have been with me on other programs, how you do your own reflection on a weekly basis, what worked,
Yeah.
what didn't work, why it worked, what do I need. Imagine if they have this system in there, if it's internalized. Now most of your kids get up and they brush their teeth, not because they were born, they were sent like, okay, you have to go and brush your teeth, because you trained them. So when that becomes a default system, you start using them. And I'm repeating this, if any of you have not seen my conversation with Deepika, which I posted yesterday, please go ahead, take time and see. It's as if your future child is speaking to you, because she stopped sharing about her real life experiences, what she went through. And once now that the system is there, it's not a short term thing, it's not a band-aid approach. And like confidence and anything, once you become confident, you're unstoppable. So, Sarika, I won't be able to, I do not share things. The things that I can put out in public is for open.
Of course. Yeah.
And
Right.
but for you to know as a parent what's happening, it's theory and then interactions and exercises. And if they take action, they change. I'm reading Ashish's comment. I see at core the issue is with parenting skills and not really about the child. You're so right. I didn't become a coach to become a parenting coach. That was the need. I loved empowering students, but the more Ashish I interacted with students, I realized it's not even 50-50%. The parents needed more help, not because they didn't love their child, because they didn't know what they didn't know. That's forced me to become a parenting coach. And should we think that most parents do not like to be coached or rather prefer not change their own lifestyle? That's the biggest hurdle, Ashish, because we as parents, not just in a parenting role, let's talk about adults. Adults have bigger ego, and it should be. I'm not saying not to have, but we don't balance it off, and we stay in denial. Any role we take with pride because we have worked hard. If I'm an engineer, I'm proud of my being an engineer, but that pride comes into my role as a mother. I cannot be wrong, because to be honest, Ashish, unfortunately that's how I think you and I grew up. How many times of our parents said they were wrong? At least our generation. So we learn from them. I cannot be wrong. So we are in denial. When we are in denial, we fight for it. We say, I cannot be wrong. You have to do it this way. Why? Because that's how I was raised, because that's what I know. You cannot do this. I'll take away your stuff because that's all I know. So, assuming that your program elevates the child, but eventually the kid goes back into the same jungle of their home, you're so right. So, although your work is impactful, child can progress only if parents really change their lifestyle. You are right, Ashish, and I'm just pulling out, which forced me. So, I'm introducing the Fun Shop program for kids, but thank you, Sarika. So I also have effective parenting program for parents, because then it works the best, working as a team, so parents are equipped equally at the right time, not after their kids graduate. And just the other thing to show, if somebody hasn't seen, this was my dream project with my son. That was our dream. He wrote this so when he was 12, and it was a year long work, and he shares his real life experience. If you get this book, you will realize there are tons of stories of this kid. I can share real life examples, and but I think one of the things he shares, how he was so hungry to make money in his middle school. He would I would drop him. He would go to Safeway across the road, buy donuts, sell the donuts before and after school, make money. I knew as a mother what was happening. I didn't get mad. I didn't scold him. I just went, parked my car in front of the Safeway. I just quietly video recorded him coming to Safeway, buying donuts, going out. When he came home, I'm like, Yash, I have something to show you. And I just showed that video. I told him, listen, buddy, you want to do something? I'm here with you. But when I'm here to support you, don't take unnecessary risk. You want to make money? Great. Let's make a list what all you want to sell. When you want to sell, I'll take you to Safeway. You buy gifts and you sell. Nothing wrong in selling. Nothing wrong. I mean, this because he had that freedom and he mentions that in his book. So that's what it is. And there are so many such incidences. And so writing a book is like, so it's not some theory that he's talking, but about what he has experienced and on how he has learned. And Sachin is saying, but if they don't take action, and that's a very genuine concern, Sachin, and they will not, if you offer them 10 things, I'll guarantee you they'll not take 10 things in action, but they'll choose what's right for them and when it's right for them. And that's the trust we'll have to put in. Because as a parent, we need an assurance and guarantee that if I'm doing something for my child, I want to see ROI, return on investment. And I hope, Sachin, again, I'm pointing it back, go and listen to Deepika, what she's saying, like have the trust. And I'm not saying to you as a coach to a parent, I've done that. I might have already shared this in person with you, Sachin, but it's like when I took my child to my mentor, investing time, energy, and money, we invested $15,000 for 4 days of training. And there were like hundreds of people, international event. I had zero guarantee my child would learn anything out of that. My mentor didn't guarantee anything. It's not even a one-on-one, training. There are international people, millionaires sitting there, and you get what you get, just like a Tony Robbins event. But if I wouldn't have taken my son there, he wouldn't be where he is today. So does that mean my son took every action, or does that mean I've been to every single Tony Robbins event? Does that mean I have taken every action? No, I took what was right for me. So, based on my experience, Sachin, as a human being, as a mother, as a coach, that's put trust in your child. Our role as a parent is to provide them that environment. So it's going in and they'll take action. But if we as a parent want to see what action they're going to take, it's practically not possible. We have sent my daughter has gone to Russian math school when she was in high school. And later on, she told me there's nothing she learned because she wasn't interested. They were teaching advanced math skills, and she wasn't excited because she couldn't use it immediately in school. It would just make her math smarter, and she wasn't interested in that. So we invested thousands of dollars in sending her to Russian math school for probably 2 years. And she said, Mom, I didn't get anything out of it. So yes, there are, gains and losses. And I don't regret those $1,000, thousands of dollars I spent in to send my daughter there. She knew what's not right for her. So that's what my take would be. When it's going to start, it will start in Sarika in next couple of weeks, and I'm just gathering. So, and I'll let you know. Thanks, Sachin. Any other question anyone has? All right. Then we'll conclude our session here today. And just a reminder, and I'm trying to learn how to very lovingly tell you, please, you're investing your time and energy. At least you would have got one takeaway. Share your takeaways and ask your questions. I'm here to serve you. I'm here to be with you. I have nothing to gain, only the satisfaction that I was able to help a parent. Just think how you want your child to follow through. Now you're on spot. Take care, my friends. I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.
Thank you so much, Rashmi.
You're most welcome, Shamika.